Okay, everyone, thanks for joining us. It is another week of EECS 440. Welcome back, and I hope you had a good weekend. If I sound a little bit strange or my vocabulary starts to disappear midway through this lecture, that is usually the first thing to go when I'm very, very, very tired. I was showing this a little bit earlier, but EECS 498, the Game Engine Architecture Upper Level CS course, just got a new homework assignment. Homework 9, have any of you used the Niagara particle system in Unreal or the Unity particle system, the particle system component? Have you ever heard of it, seen it? It's very impressive stuff. In general, particle systems are really interesting to use because you can create beautiful graphical effects, but they're also very interesting to program, and that's what the new homework was. I was at the office, I think, until about 4:30 a.m. last night, trying to get it all working on the autograders in my office. My home computer is more powerful than my autograders are, and so when I ported the homework and the autograding tools from my home computer to the autograders, it didn't work. The autograders were too weak to handle it, so I had a long night of making things more efficient and making things work a bit better. Here's just a small example of some of the stuff you can do. And I'll say on this kind of washed out screen, it doesn't look quite as good, but I think I have some other GIFs as well. Yeah, you can make some really interesting kind of graphical effects. Smoke, right? Fire, sparks, flame, right? Snow, all sorts of interesting effects can be made with particle systems. And so that's what the students are doing. They are programming their own particle systems, and they're using a technique called data-oriented programming to make it really fast, okay? You've all heard of object-oriented programming, right? The basic super high-level TLDR is that object-oriented programming, not always the fastest, because the act of putting all of your data into these big, convenient, organized objects means that if you want to do operations on one tiny part of those objects, like position value, you have to load the entire object with all of its other data members into the cache just so you can operate on these tiny little bits of data, okay? So that's not very cache efficient. Data-oriented programming kind of eschews the traditional object-oriented style, and basically says, hey, we're going to keep all of our little bits of data separate from each other, and we are only going to consider the data that matters when we go to do computation. Okay, so much more cache efficient. You can go blazing fast and render millions of particles at a time if you take that approach. Okay, but in any case, yeah, kind of an interesting topic. That course is not available next semester. It is winters only. It's quite a tough course as well. So be careful. All right, so if you look at where we are just launching Project 3 today, okay? It's a very exciting time, and we're going to go over Project 3 and what Project 3 is, how it's going to work, what the important deadlines are, and then we're going to talk about some other topics. We're going to talk about XR and education. We're going to finish that up by taking a trip to Oregon, okay? We're going to need a wagon leader to take us to Oregon. You'll have about 20 minutes to do so. And so if any of you are interested, please let me know, and we will help you get there, okay? But first, I have a company that I would like to show you. This is a really interesting company. This is a hardware company that is focused on creating interesting, unique interfaces for VR and AR. Okay, if you recall, not long ago, we looked at Carnegie Mellon University's kind of Future Interfaces Lab, where they used interesting kind of cameras placed on the controllers. They used these little kind of audio wave emitters to give you the sensation of things falling onto your face, right? Rain droplets, stuff like that. Well, this is another company that has been funded fairly heavily, $36 million. They're based in Seattle. And they have a set of gloves, okay? A set of gloves that can actually allow you to feel and touch virtual objects, that can actually give you some force feedback, for instance, to let you know by touch when you're touching a wall, okay? This is the kind of thing that might be very impactful for you if you are, for instance, working in a warehouse or training to do very precise movements with your hands, or you're controlling a robot, okay? Let's see if they have a video. I think they do. The way that they accomplish all of this is pretty interesting.
The ultimate work tool is the human hand. 5 dexterous fingers. Skin tough enough to work all day. And nerves so sensitive, they can detect the finest detail. Our hands are the foundation of today's workforce and the inspiration for tomorrow's. Now, for the first time, there's a training tool that can match the dexterity and sensitivity of your hands. Haptex Gloves G1. The haptic gloves with the most realistic touch. G1 is lined with hundreds of air-powered actuators that bring realism to a new level. With powerful force feedback and precise motion tracking for enterprise-grade dexterity, G1 is uniquely designed for workforce training. It works in virtual reality, helping you build real muscle memory. It works with robotics, extending your reach with precise haptic teleoperation. And it lets you train robot AI systems faster and more successfully with the highest fidelity hand tracking and haptic data. We designed G1 from the bottom up to support the most demanding work. Industrial, medical, defense, and beyond. Order Haptex Gloves G1 now and get the best out of your most important tool, your hands.
So this is actually the first time I've seen this trailer. They used to have a different one, and this is also the first time I've heard them vocalize that this is meant for training, okay? Did you hear that as well? This is very much meant for those really, really important training moments where you aren't really getting enough out of just handing some Oculus controllers to the user, okay? You need like per finger accuracy, and you need the student to do the right thing, okay? Otherwise, they could end up losing those fingers or getting themselves hurt, okay? If this seems like a small thing, I think I told you that I'm currently training to be a pilot, right? I did. Actually, hold on. I have something I want to show you really quickly. Let me see. I'm going to show you some footage, and I want you to tell me if you know where this is, okay? Let's see. There we go. Okay. Okay, and here, let's see. Here it is. Can you tell me where this is? Yeah, if it ever plays, I guess. It's not going to play? Bummer. Okay, let's go to Chrome. I'm convinced Google has been sabotaging Firefox playback for a lot of their services. Do you know where this is? Anyone? No? Do you know now? How many of you have been downtown? Seen the Renaissance Center, right? The airspace around here is pretty complicated and kind of hectic. Um, while I'm trying to get footage, you're trying to maintain a very consistent altitude as well. Otherwise, you will get some very, very angry calls. As there are a lot of planes coming into DTW, you need to make sure to stay out of their way. And you also have to avoid things like bridges and the Renaissance Center being fairly high. And so there's kind of a thin altitude that you need to kind of stay in. But in any case, when you are trying to manage all that stuff, how your fingers move is a very, very big deal. And if you mess with the wrong switch, right, your muscle memory isn't there, you accidentally deploy the flaps when you are going, 120 plus miles an hour, you can damage the plane in midair, and you have very serious problems after that happens, okay? If you grab the wrong knob and move it the wrong way, your engine is gone. It's just going to turn off in midair, okay? If you pull out the mixture, your engine can't get fuel anymore. And your mixture knob lever is right next to your thrust lever, okay? And so it's very easy to accidentally grab the wrong thing, and instead of getting more juice and going higher, your engine is dead and you are going down, okay? This is all to say that this stuff is real, absolutely real, and I can see people paying a pretty penny for these kind of devices. So if you didn't gather it from the footage, this is basically a big vacuum system that pumps and actuates and moves air around these gloves. The gloves are filled with air, and it has the ability to push air into certain locations on your fingers in order to kind of give you that sensation of you pushing against things, okay, physically. Of course, you can just force through it, right? You can force your hand through that virtual wall, but you will know just by touch that you are touching something, okay, and kind of what the shape of that thing is. So you can see that person moving very fast with their motions, okay? I do not know if they reveal the price, but I can recall the price for this device. It's about $2 to $3 grand. All right, so not cheap at all. This is the kind of thing that a educational institution might be able to buy one or two of for like a class of 30 to 50 students. All right, so that's kind of the scale at which this kind of solution starts to make sense. There's an SDK you can see here, so you can actually get an SDK. If you have software that you want to work with these gloves especially well, you can download the SDK and you can integrate it so that anyone using your software with this device will have a good experience. Okay, SDK, Unreal Engine, yep, right there. And I'm a little bit surprised that they don't feature Unity, but it seems they support Unity, Unreal, Steam, VR, C++, and something called ROS. I have no idea what that is, but yeah. They will not tell you the cost. Why? It's because they want to know who you are before they talk to you about, what it's going to cost you. They also probably do not want to field requests from a tiny team. Okay, this is the kind of thing that we know that most small teams, most hobbyists are not going to buy this. And so, we want to only talk to big businesses. We only want to talk to institutions that are going to train a lot of people. And so that's just the kind of company this is, right? Any comments, any questions, anything you notice about this company? I think it'd be kind of cool to try something like this out, okay? But given how cumbersome it looks to put on, it looks like it's not super easy to put on. Right, and so you really want to have a long session in store, and you want to really be about to have a really engaging time before you use this. Okay. Likewise, how much time do you think it takes to get to your plane and get it all ready to go, like before you lift off? Any idea? You're training to be a pilot. You've got your Cessna 150, 152 right there. How much time are you going to lose just to get into that training session? How much friction do you think there is? Any idea? Depends on where you live. I drive about 15 minutes and I get to the airport. Ann Arbor Municipal Airport, south of town, not DTW, not Willow Run. And then it takes about 30 minutes to get the plane ready, to get it taxied, and then you finally take off into the air. About 45 minutes total for me, okay? And your flight session is usually only 2 to 3 hours, okay? So what is that, right? About 33% to 40% of your flight time is just getting the thing out, pulling it out of the hangar, making sure it's fueled up, doing your inspection before you leave, taxiing, talking to the air traffic controller. And then when you're in the air, it costs about $100 an hour, okay? That is some serious friction, okay? But the upside is that you're several thousand feet in the air taking really cool photos and having a great time, all right? When the friction goes up, when the cost goes up, the experience has to get exceptionally better, okay? In a plane, for a lot of people, that's true, okay? But will your knowledge gain, will your muscle memory improvement be worth the, 10 to 15 minutes it takes to set that up and the $2,000 you have to put up front to get everything bought and shipped to you? I don't know. Maybe. But keep that in mind. Whenever you introduce friction, you have to introduce value. Otherwise, people just aren't going to care, okay? So, a very cool company, and again, that question arises. This company, is it doing something socially impactful? Well, maybe. It kind of depends what people use these things for, right? If people are improving their training regimen, right, and more people are getting to these jobs and they're being safer and more efficient when they get there, right? Are pilots becoming safer because they were able to train with something like this? If the answer is yes, then maybe it is socially impactful. But if people aren't able to find a use case for this stuff, or if it's too expensive in time and money, then maybe it's not so socially impactful, okay? And so it is something to think about, especially as we enter your Project 3, where every single week you are going to be judged by these criteria, okay? So thinking about your social impact, your financial sustainability, what does your business plan look like, your XR emphasis, is this the kind of thing that can only really be done with XR? All these things really matter, and so hopefully your team has some idea of what you want to do and how it's going to be valuable to all of these criteria. By the way, that reminds me, I need to go to People, I need to go to the P3 Studios, and I'm going to turn off that automatic self-sign-up, okay? If you don't have a team, it's all good. You will receive a team tonight. As soon as I'm out of office hours, I will randomly assign you, and you're going to want to start talking with your team members as soon as you can because the deadlines come up very fast, okay? You're going to have your first check-in 1 week from today, all right? And you want to make sure you do a good job, okay? As good as you can, all right? Some quick, cool things to show you, right? Entrepreneurship. I don't remember if I've shown you this or not, but one of the big things about making a new startup or a new solution, right, is you want to get it out there and you want to show it to people. If you are in the game dev space, if you've got a new killer game design that you think people will love, it's going to fit this missing gap in the market and give people an experience that they just can't have otherwise, right? You will go to events like YomaCon. This is in downtown Detroit. I think at Huntington Place. This is my friend Natalie Fang and one of my students, Jasmine. And her studio, I can't remember if I told you, she runs Nochi Studios, which is one of the more prolific and successful studios in the city. It is a anime, romance, graphic novel, video game studio, okay? So if you are itching for some anime-style romantic graphic novels, then Nochi and Natalie Fang, Professor Fang, because she teaches in SI, is going to serve you, okay? It's going to get those things made for you. And you are, going to have a good time. I was right across from her, and we were making a horror game at the time called Greek Tragedy. I think, I showed that to you earlier in the course. And we had a bunch of stations, 4 of them set up so that people could walk in anytime and play the game and have a good experience, okay? In any case, she also sold a bunch of merch. And this is the kind of thing that you do when you have a startup. Okay, you have to put out you have to put in a lot of walking, a lot of hauling stuff. You need to get out there. You need to talk with people, and if your solution is meeting people's needs, then you will start to grow in popularity. Okay, pretty cool stuff. Visualization, XR, and game dev is a very, very big thing, and it has been that way for a while. A company called BAE Systems, BAE, do you know what they do? They are a gigantic military / defense contractor, and they recently bought a video game studio called Bohemia Interactive, famous for making kind of first-person shooter military sims. They purchased this company to create visualizations, to create training programs and software for defense, for soldiers, for mechanics working on aircraft, stuff like that, okay? And so when it comes to education, it is no small thing. There are some serious dollars involved if you can fit the right market, okay? If you are trying to sell to a high school, those budgets are exceptionally tight. All right. Do you know whose budgets are overflowing and not so tight? The military. So there you go. Okay. One big question is, if you are working to solve a problem, who has that problem? And not only, who has that problem, what kind of resources and budgets do those institutions and people tend to have? Right? If you are solving problems for the U.S. military, that is going to be a huge budget, right? If you are solving problems for the local high school, that's going to be a smaller budget, okay? And remember, niche can be enough. You don't have to sell to the big institutions with multi-billion-dollar budgets, okay? But if you are selling to a smaller institution like a high school, then you have to keep your costs in check, okay? You have to make sure that your product can be sold for cheaper, okay? So you just have to plan for it. All right, so assignments due today, P2 postmortem. Hopefully you had a good time kind of reflecting on Unity. I'm curious, how many of you preferred Unity to Unreal? Anyone? Okay, a couple of you. How many of you are still Team Unreal? You like the blueprints, visual scripting, a little bit prettier, right? Okay, no one. Interesting. Oh, a couple of you. All right. Yeah, it's pretty split right down the middle. Both of those engines have their advantages. They both have a strong, distinct flavor. But you can also see how you can build one thing in Unreal, and you can almost certainly get it working in Unity, given enough time and effort, and vice versa. You can, and it's very common for a team to port their software from the Unity engine to the Unreal engine to get higher fidelity stuff, to get better multiplayer networking support, stuff like that, okay? But yeah, I'm glad that you all now have knowledge and experience with multiple game engines so that you'll be able to better say whether you like the next one that you try, okay? You'll be able to relate the next engine you try to Unity or Unreal and make a good decision about which one you want to go with, okay? A quick announcement also, there's an XR film this Wednesday, okay? We already know, did we say what the film is? Did any of you look it up? Okay, what is the film? It is Black Mirror. Which one? San Junipero, right? Black Mirror, San Junipero is one of the, in my opinion, harder to parse, more challenging, and in many ways more thoughtful films we're going to see this semester. It's a film that I had to watch twice, okay, before I started to figure out what it was really going for, at which point I really started to like it, okay? It's a very difficult film, so if possible, I encourage you to please watch it with us as a group, as I can dramatically improve your experience viewing that film. But if you need to watch it on your own, then hopefully the essay and the questions that it asks will be useful and enlightening. Does the schedule look like this for any of you? Does it kind of scrunch up like this? I'm not sure why it's doing this. Yeah, very odd, very strange. Okay, hopefully it doesn't look like this. I'm just seeing this for the first time today. But in any case, what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about Project 3. Okay, Project 3 is the big project that ends this class. It is our big showcase XR application. And this is when the training wheels really are kind of coming off, okay? You have 4 to 5 weeks to build anything that you want. A VR experience, an AR experience. You have now not a team of 2, but a team of 4 to 5. And so hopefully this will be kind of a very freeing experience for you, okay? This is the showcase at the end of the semester. We bring tons of people, friends and family, professors, local enthusiasts in to experience your VR and AR applications. And they can get kind of wild, okay? You can see kind of a fitness application in the center here. One of the reasons this GIF actually makes me shiver a little bit is that in this first semester, we didn't have our safety protocols really rolling. Okay, you can see my assistant here gets whacked actually by the person playing in VR, trying to grab some coins, whacks him right in the shoulder. Okay, so we do need to be a little bit careful when people are doing very kind of visceral, high velocity things in VR. We have to create some space for them, and we have to keep people out of it. Okay. It can get relatively crowded, and it can be a great time watching people come up and experiencing your application, okay? Everyone walks around and has a good time. At the beginning, we actually show off trailers that all of you make and the websites that you make to kind of show off what your application is, what you decided to do, okay? Then people walk around the room and they experience your apps. You get to watch people have fun or kind of learn something or get a workout, all right? It's a very interesting time. As anyone who's taken 494 will know, it's very unpredictable how people will interact with your software, okay? And so one of the things that we will also be doing is that from here on out, every single week, you can see our tiny little mini schedule here. Every single week, you will have a deliverable, and every single week, you will also have a playtest, okay? We will not have lectures on Monday anymore. We will have playtest sessions where you will be paired up with another team. You will playtest and engage with and try out their software, and they will do the same for you, okay? So you can kind of watch them experience your software with a fresh head, okay? And see, is the UI like readable? Is it easy to use the software, or are things just going off the rails, all right? Yeah, it should be a pretty engaging time. And here is the basic schedule, okay? It's a very short one, right? We've got today up here on the left, all right? And like all of our projects in this course, you can break it down into engineering that you need to care about, design stuff, and business stuff, all right? Your first immediate major deliverable is P3 milestone. And if you look at this assignment spec on the schedule, oops, not that, right here. What you'll notice is that this is the first assignment where you don't get tasks. You have to create them, okay? And so you will be thinking about these kind of 5 different criteria: technical sophistication, novelty, social impact, XR emphasis, and financial sustainability. Kind of the same criteria that we've been critiquing pretty much every lecture in our XR startups, okay? With technical sophistication, we want to see that you are being somewhat ambitious, right? You're getting into Unity or Unreal, and you are making something that is kind of substantial, okay? It has interesting features. You are trying to do something with some novelty as well, okay? One of these assignments in here, the P3 research assignment, which lasts a large way through the project, actually requires you to go out and find other similar projects and pieces of software, other products, okay? So you can know what's out there. You can zig where they zag, do something novel, all right? You will also be thinking about social impact, okay? Am I actually trying to solve a problem that is going to matter to people? Is there a problem that my software is going to address? XR emphasis. Can the problem I'm trying to address be addressed just as easily through a 2D traditional interface, through just a standard 2D video game on a 2D screen? All right? If that's the case, you're really not getting a whole lot out of this XR thing, okay? So lean into VR or AR. What are they uniquely good at compared to traditional 2D games on a 2D screen, okay? And then financial sustainability. With your project, you will be improving the software every week, but you will also be upgrading a website and taking video footage every week of the new features that you've created. And on that website, you will need to have some sort of plan you've thought through about how you're going to actually make money. Are you going to charge a premium, price for this software, a one-time price? Are you going to go with a subscription model? Are you going to go free to play? Okay. Are you going to go find a grant from a charitable organization so that you can offer your software for free? Okay. We want you to spend some time thinking about all of these criteria every week. And every week we want to see them move forward a little bit. Okay. All right. Long story short, in 7 days, your team is going to have a basic website. Okay. You will create it via Weebly or Squarespace or something like that. And you're going to have a little devlog where you tell us, what did you do this week? All right. What did you do this week? What did you change? What did you improve? Okay. And you're going to supply some video footage to show us those things. All right. So, for instance, right, Urban Rush just posted their final trailer, and they described kind of what they did. Okay, they added a story, zombies, robots. Okay, other features. Let's see, Face AR development blog. Oh, that one's expired. I think they changed their link over to a different website. But you can see, right, every week a statement of what changed and video footage to show us those things changing. This is a team that created kind of a really unique virtual VR keyboard to accelerate typing in VR. And they then went and created kind of a typing of the dead style minigame that has you typing words as fast as you can to keep asteroids from reaching you, okay? Yeah, you can manipulate the different halves of the keyboard, and it's really cool stuff, okay? All right. To some extent, these products start to look like research projects, okay? If the team can find a new way to interface with VR, that could spread to other teams when they put it out there. All right, but you got it. And that is more or less what most of these deliverables, technical deliverables, look like from week to week. It's a lot of work, but remember, you have 4 to 5 people on your team. So splitting up that work is going to be really, really helpful for you. All right, you've got P3 Milestone 2, you've got P3 Alpha, okay, and P3 Gold. P3 Alpha, do any of you know what alpha means? Have I asked that? Alpha, kind of like beta, right, means something in the world of software. Alpha means feature complete. My software has pretty much everything in it that it's ever going to have, okay? But it might be buggy, it might be unpolished, it might be unbalanced if it's a game. And so alpha is when everything is in, and beta is when you fix things up. Now, we kind of skip that. We kind of lump beta into that final P3 Gold week. That's when you polish everything up, you get the game built, you deliver the source code, and create your trailer, okay? In the middle of this homework, okay, and I think the schedule is slightly off. Let's take a look. In the middle of this homework, you're going to be doing research, okay? You're going to be looking at what projects are out there. You're going to be talking with people who might be stakeholders and getting feedback and advice, okay? So that's going to help you make a better final product. You'll know what's already out there. You'll know what matters to your target demographic and their problems. In the final week, you will work on a trailer. this is the trailer that we will show at that final showcase. Everyone will get to see it. And actually, it's fairly hard to install VR apps and AR apps sometimes, right? Not everyone, not every recruiter at a company is going to be able to take the time to install your app, find some VR hardware, and experience it themselves. But what everyone can always do is spare 45 seconds to watch a trailer, okay, in their web browser. See what you built, see the footage, right? Be able to talk with you about the cool ideas you had and how you built certain things. So, in other words, right, your trailer is really shockingly important. And when you leave this course, this trailer is how your software will live on forever, basically, okay? During this project, you will finally have a good use case for Jira, okay? Team of 2, not a big deal. You can use Trello, you can use Discord or email, or just kind of wing it, right? But when you've got a team of 4 to 5, knowing who is working on what, okay, how close is that thing to being done? How long is it going to take? Do we have too many tasks for this week? Do we need to push some tasks to the next week? Okay, all that's really important. It's also difficult to prevent people from stepping on each other and accidentally doing the same thing, okay, or getting a merge conflict. So Jira, hopefully, will finally have some value to you on this P3 project. And in any case, you'll see a lot in the industry, and so it'll be valuable there. One final week after the showcase is finished, I think the showcase is going to be on the 21st. We will have a 7-day postmortem for P3 and the entire course. Super easy assignment, super easy, nice big chunk of points for you to get, and so not something to really worry about, okay? So that's pretty much it. Some miscellaneous info. Again, teams of 4 to 5. If you didn't get a chance to form your team, if you forgot, if you're too late, send me an email right away, and maybe I can still get you onto that team. You can choose whether you want to do Unity or Unreal. You can choose whether you want to do VR or AR. On rare occasion, we'll have a team that chooses to do Unity VR, okay? Because Unity can handle VR pretty well. Now, we didn't teach that, right? We taught Unreal with VR, but you will be able to figure it out without too much trouble, and might be a decent choice. You will have intermediate deliverables every single week, okay? You're going to provide a video demonstration, a video embedded in your website, okay? Your website needs to move forward and become more polished every single week, which is, partially why we show you all these companies and their websites every single lecture, okay? We recommend using Squarespace, Weebly, Wix, but sometimes students who have taken EECS 485 want to write your own website from scratch, okay? You can totally do that. We do not care in the slightest. Your final deliverable, your gold deliverable that ends the course, will be a little bit more involved. You're going to need to supply source code. You're going to have to add your project to all your portfolio websites on your team. You'll need a trailer, and you will need to be at that showcase event, okay? So nothing too crazy, all right? All of these projects, right, we showed you some of them in the very first day of lecture for EECS 440. I want to show you a few others, okay, that I don't think I showed you. Did I show you National Parks 101? Let's take a look.
Nature. What a lovely day to be out and about. This is exactly what I love about national parks. Immersed in nature, away from civilization. Ooh, a moose! Hey, take my picture next to this moose. Ah! Welcome to National Parks 101, where you can learn all about the do's and lots of don'ts of our lovely national parks. Observe nature from a good distance, of course. Practice preparing for longer hikes before exploring the beautiful landscape. Even try out real hikes at different national parks. Learn to be a responsible tourist and help preserve our precious national parks in National Parks 101. Only you can save our parks.
The idea here being that actually a surprising amount of people are a bit intimidated to visit these gigantic national parks, especially if you don't spend a ton of time out in nature, you've had more of an urban lifestyle for a long time. And so this is an application that kind of helps you learn a lot of the tools of the trade of getting around the parks. For instance, what should you do if you run into a bear versus a moose? What kind of bear is it? That kind of determines how you should deal with the situation, okay? And so they detect gestures, right? Make yourself big. They detect that, and that makes the bear kind of bail, okay? Taking care of yourself, packing enough water, dealing with hunger and thirst, staying on the beaten path, not eating the wrong things, stuff like that. So very impressive. I think a lot of people don't realize like the Yellowstone geysers are super warm, like scalding. You should not go near them. You will die if you do. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff. Spiro VR. This is an exceptional one. It makes use of hardware, actually. This was a Unity VR app that was hooked up to basically a device that measures your breathing, your capacity of your lungs. And so they used what are the cool little embedded devices? Arduino. They used an Arduino to detect your breathing and fed that information into Unity in order to make a really cool VR game. A VR-based breathing test and exercise suite. Let's take a look.
Spiro VR is an app aimed at helping patients with cystic fibrosis and other lung conditions clear their airways. To maintain their health, patients need to set aside time every day for lung exercises, but up to 70% of these patients are not consistent with their prescribed regimen. Spiro VR takes advantage of virtual reality technology to bring a new dimension to airway clearance, taking the dread out of daily breathing exercises.
Right? So a mix of medical and education. This is an app in which you exercise your breathing. And the way that the mini games are designed, right? Bowling, a magical duel, right? Stuff like that. They're designed to get the player having a certain rhythm in and out with their airways. And so pretty cool stuff. And the team worked super hard to get hardware and software working together. I'll also say this was kind of a unique example where the problem that they are solving was the problem that one of the students had, right? One of the students had that medical condition and wanted to improve the breathing exercises she had to deal with. And so she built this, okay? How many of you have ever, like, when you were kids, dreamed of being a firefighter? Okay, none of you? All right. How many of you know what to do in a fire situation? Besides just kind of run out. Just run out of the building, right, as fast as you can. Okay, there are some other steps involved if you want to do a really good job and preserve as much of the building, preserve lives. And Inferno VR teaches you that. It puts you into a building on fire scenario and asks you and trains you up on what to do and how quickly can you do it and ranks you. Let's take a look.
If you were caught in a sudden fire, would you know what to do? Learn the right way to fight back with the power of VR. In an experience guided by firefighting experts.
The Director of Emergency Management here with DPSS. Start letting people know fire. Yell it loudly, activate fire alarm. If you are trained or comfortable with a fire extinguisher, use it by all means. Now, when you are out safely, that's when we're calling 911.
Get Inferno today.
So a pretty cool game that kind of teaches you and evaluates you by putting you into a randomized, procedurally generated warehouse on fire environment. And during the showcase, it was very interesting to watch players playing again and again and again to improve their ranking, but also to try and nab the high score at that particular event. And if you get very good at this, you can exceptionally quickly knock the fire out and beeline it outside and end the game by calling the fire department within moments, okay? So there's some other nuances in there that the software teaches you about. Things you shouldn't do, right? You shouldn't be too aggressive when you're trying to fight the fire with that fire extinguisher, okay? So pretty cool stuff. Let's look at Renov AR. This one might be one of the most technically impressive that we've ever seen. This allows you to use the MetaQuest Pro to basically replace the walls and the furniture and objects in the environment around you. So renovate your room in AR. Let's take a look.
Tired of struggling to visualize your dream home renovation with existing AR apps? They just don't understand your room's layout, leading to a broken, unrealistic experience. But with Renovar's precise room scanning technology, all the walls and existing furniture are captured with precision. Imagine trying out different flooring, or finding the perfect angle for your favorite chair with a few clicks. With Renovar, you can even clear out your old furniture and experiment with endless new pieces and layouts until everything is just right. Mount that new TV on the wall and try out a fresh coat of paint. Or install your favorite ceiling fan. The possibilities are endless. So what are you waiting for? Experience your space in a completely new way and turn your dream home into a reality with Renova.
The fact that this software can allow you to take your actual literal real-life chair and table and just delete it from existence, exceptionally impressive, right? This is what becomes possible when the software actually understands what the image data is saying, that it represents a 3D space, that these are actual objects, okay? The result is just incredible. Final one, Dino Snap. Kind of an entertaining game. We want to take people back in time to get a feel for the world of dinosaurs. What did dinosaurs eat? How did they move? Right? How do they interact with each other? This is a game that tasks you with going back in time and taking photo data of a certain number of dinosaurs. At the end, if you do them all, you get to ride the dinosaur as well. Very, very good aesthetics. The team worked very hard to make this a beautiful experience.
An unknown world. One mission. To take pictures of dinosaurs. Go back in time to various eras. Use your camera and record evidence of the dinosaurs. Complete several tasks while on your mission. And best of all, you can feed and ride on the dinosaurs. Experience an immersive and educational VR game while playing Dino Snap. Pre-orders now available on Steam for $5.
Okay. So you can see, right, in these examples, a lot of medical, a lot of education, right? Some visualization, okay? All of these fields are very, very good fodder for AR and VR, proven areas where these technologies can have an impact. But it's okay to make a project that fits into education or medical or visualization. But I would also encourage you as a team to try and think up things that are outside of those fields, okay? And you might be surprised with what you find. Okay, anyone have any questions on Project 3? Okay, what I want to do is I want to take our 5-minute break in the middle of lecture, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to head to Oregon, okay? We're going to play through the Oregon Trail, and when we're done with that, we will begin our talk on the topic of XR and business. Okay? And I will see you in 5 minutes. Okay? Does anyone want to lead us on the wagon train to Oregon? Do we have any fearless leaders out there? Otherwise, I'll have to randomly choose. I see some smiles in the back. Okay. Would you like to lead us to Oregon? Sure. All right. Very good. I will see you all in 5 minutes. We're going to head to Oregon, okay? See you then. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can. Yeah. It's gone. What happened? Okay, there we go. Okay, so in the 80s, Don Rauch had a big problem. He didn't have textbooks for the kind of 1850s American migration to the West. But what he did have was some computers and a little bit of time, all right? And so he chose to make kind of an interactive textbook. Forget about textbooks. Let's try and immerse our players. And instead of reading about the problems and dangers and situations that people from that era faced, let's put people in those situations. Let's have our players perish because they made bad decisions. And the idea is that if our players, right, come to an unfortunate end because of the nasty decisions they had to make, they're probably going to do a better job remembering all of that. They will feel it. They won't have just read about it. They will have experienced it and lived it, okay? And that, hopefully, is going to show up today. We'll see. All right, so go ahead and assume the position, wagon leader. Basically just numbers and letters and enter to enter stuff,
Just
okay?
like one and
yeah.
enter.
And a quick word of advice. You are our wagon leader, but back in the day, there wasn't just one wagon. It was a big wagon train. You'd have like 50 wagons with different families, and they would all kind of work together. So when a big decision came up, they would often have a meeting, and sometimes they would even vote. Sometimes, if it was a really contentious decision to make, the wagon would actually split up. So some people would go one way, some would go the other, and some people would get wiped out. So this is to say that we've got like 20 minutes to get to Oregon. And so, go ahead. And when you come to a decision, go ahead and ask everyone what they think. And I recommend reading the text off as well. Okay? All right. Good luck.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Also, no microphone in here, so loud.
Oh, okay, sure. Just this is the description of the game.
Yeah. How many of you have played an old school PC game like this? I don't know if you saw it on Startup, but it's an old DOS game. Like very old. Before Windows old.
What about supplies? Okay. At Dallas. Okay. This is background, I think. Wagon burns. I'm just gonna. Oh.
I think you selected the tutorial.
Okay. Okay. Let's just go back. Let's do this. Made the trip to Oregon. You may become a banker. Okay. You may become a banker from Boston. You may be a carpenter from Ohio. Be a farmer from Illinois, and find out the difference between these choices. I'm gonna try to find out the difference. If that's okay with everybody. Traveling to Oregon isn't easy, but if you are a banker, you will find you have more money for supplies and service than a carpenter or a farmer. However, the harder you have to try, the more points you deserve. Therefore, the farmer earns the greatest number of points, and the banker earns the least. So this is like a difficulty level?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just start with normal, I guess. I think this is like the medium difficulty.
Ohio?
What's the name? James. I'm the leader. So, What's the member? Okay. Does someone, everybody want to give me the names? Anybody? How about you?
I'll try AKSHAT.
AKSHAT. Okay. Okay.
I'll join you as well.
Okay.
AUSTIM.
Wait, sorry.
I am.
I'm
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, Tom. Okay. Tom. Last one. Josh. Okay. Yes. It is a 1848. Your jumping off place from Oregon is Independence, Missouri. Is that a place? I don't know. You must decide which months to leave Independence. March, April, May, June, July. So I feel like I don't know how long is that trip, but if we end up there in the winter, it's probably bad.
Yeah, there are a bunch of mountains on the west side of the country, right?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever hear about a party that got stuck in the mountains once?
Is it the cannibal thing?
Yeah, Donner Party.
Yeah. Okay, so we should start early? We should leave early, or was it too cold at March? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a sweet spot. Maybe you should ask for advice, though.
Okay. Let's see. You attend a public meeting held for folks with the California origin fever. You're told if you leave too early, there won't be any grass for your ox to eat. If you leave too late, you may not get to Oregon before winter comes. If you leave at just the right time, there will be green grass and the weather will still be cool. Okay. So just the middle one. I'm going to choose May.
Yeah, sure.
Before leaving Independence, you should buy equipment and supplies. You have $800 in the cash, but you don't have to spend it all now. You can buy whatever you need at Matt's General Store. Hello, I'm Matt. So you're going to Oregon. I can fix you up before with what you need. A team of ox to pull your... Okay, so that's what I'm given immediately, or do I choose? No, I just place. Okay, plenty of food. So the before it was the ox and the wagon, and then now it's plenty of food for the trip, amenity for your rifles, ammunitions for your rifles, spare parts for your wagons. Okay, so what do we want? We can... Oh, okay. We can buy ox, buy food, buy clothes, and ammunition. I feel like we need all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Just, okay. I want to buy ox. There are 2 ox in a York, and I recommend at least 3 York. I charge $40 for a York. I'm going to go with the recommended amount. And then food. I recommend you take at least 200 pounds of foods for each person in your family. I see that you have 5 family in total. You will need flour, sugar, bacon, and coffee. My price is 20 cents for a pound. How many pounds? So 200 pounds is for each person, so we need 1,000. And then clothings. We need warm clothes in the mountain. I recommend taking at least 2 sets of clothes per person. Each set is 10. So we need 2 sets per person, 10 sets. 100. Or, yeah. 2 sets per person, 5 people, 10 sets. Okay.
Yeah, that is if you trust Matt.
Will we need more? I mean, it's just at least, right? Let's just go with that. Ammunition, so let's just buy everything. So ammunition in box of 20 bullets. Okay, this one doesn't have a recommended. Does anybody think there is a good number? Maybe we
Do you
can,
know how many bullets it takes to like kill or to hunt?
we have no idea.
If you hunt well, it only takes a couple bullets. But
Um,
like there are other uses for ammo as well.
Maybe bandits?
Yeah.
We can come back to this.
Yeah, you can buy some of this later too.
Maybe just so each box has 20 bullets. If I buy just like 5 boxes, 100 already. Let's just start with that.
Sounds good.
And then we can go to spare parts first. It's a good idea to have a few spare parts for your wagon. And here's the price. How many wheels do we need? Wait, how many wagons do we have? 5? Is that how it works?
You only worry about one wagon.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have 4 wheels per wagon, I'm assuming. Maybe we just have one for like 4 for backup. Is that a lot or?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Oh,
Oh,
I can only carry 3. Does it buy 3 or it doesn't? Maybe we can just carry 3 then, or 3 then.
I want to point out that we were able to buy 1,000 pounds of food for like $100.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I don't actually know what this does. Oh, is that the okay? So each wagon probably just have 2 axes.
Yep.
So I think at most we would gonna need 2. Just one backup if we follow the same idea. And tongue. What's the tongue?
I have no idea.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 2 again. I don't know what it does, but yeah. Okay. The question is, do we need any more of anything? Is this too many little ammunition? Or is that fine? Okay, sure.
Good to me.
Then we can just leave. Well, then you are ready to start. Good luck. You have a long and difficult journey ahead of you. All right. Oh, is this okay? Never mind.
Yeah, check the map.
You may continue. Okay, look at the map. Let's just look at the map. Change pace, food ratio, stop and rest, attempt to trade, talk to people, buy supply. Yeah, look at the map.
Okay, you got 15 minutes to get from Independence to Oregon.
Okay. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that all towns? Is this the way? Is it that road? Is it the road? Okay. There's a lot of places. Okay, I'm gonna look at the map back again later. But I guess we just start going first. For Independence, it is 102 miles to the Kansas River crossing. Okay. Size up the situation. What does that mean? To just skip? Severe thunderstorm. Okay. You're now at Kansas River crossing. What would you like? Would you like to look around? I guess yes. Oh, okay. It seems like everything is good. Cool, good, steady feeling. So I don't think we need to do anything. Maybe we can talk to people.
Sometimes they have funny things to say.
Okay, let's try to talk to people. Aunt Rebecca Sims tells you, with the crowd of people waiting to get on the ferry, we could be stranded here for days. Hope there's enough graze for all those animals. Not many people carry feed. I would rather wait though than cross in a rickety wagon boat. Okay. You could be stranded for days, but do we know if there's wagons or boats? I don't know. It's
When you
weird.
continue, you'll get to check.
Okay, let's see. You must cross the river in order to continue. The river at this point is currently 644 feet across and 6.9 feet deep in the middle. Okay. The weather is cool. It's like okay. Attempt to ford the river. Is that?
What's the play? Fording the river means just go right through it.
Oh.
Tunnel to the middle. Let's go.
It's kind of dangerous. Do you have the money for a ferry? How much does it take? And I mean, we probably would need more. We need like money down the line.
You can also get more information.
Oh yeah, let's do that. To ford the river. Oh okay. That's okay. It means to seal it so that no river can get in. The wagon can then float across like a boat. To use the ferry means to put. Oh, okay. That belongs to someone else. Owner will take your wagon across the river. It didn't say how much for the ferry.
I think it'll tell you.
Okay. Let's see. Ferry operation says that you're willing to take $5, and that would have you wait 6 days. 6 days.
That lady wasn't kidding.
We were here. We left in May, right? It took us 7 days to get here, and we're gonna wait 6 days for this.
There must be like thousands of people in front of us.
Yeah. But every one of them didn't try to ford or just float across. Maybe there's a point to that. What do you guys think? Anybody?
What's the play?
Do you want to take some risk?
I feel like you risk it.
Risk it for the biscuit. All right.
Okay, so I say no to this. And then, do we just like ford the river or do you, I can't even say the how?
How tall do you think the wagons were? Because we got 7 feet of depth. We gotta be able to.
How tall is the wagon? I don't know.
I think that's too deep.
It's too deep. So we have to wait. I'm sorry. Let me just to pull your river across the shallow part of the river. Okay, and the other one means that to seal it so that no water can get in, the wagon can then be floated across like a boat. Okay. If we seal it and float across the boat with that depth, does it float?
It's still early. You have a lot of spare parts. I feel like you just float it across.
Okay. Let's go.
There we go.
Is that how it looks? Is this actual?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. Okay. What does size up the situation? Run trail. Okay, cool. You find an abandoned wagon with the following. Okay, we get some more stuff. Let me press enter once just to see. Oh, okay, so I can just like make another choice. Okay. You are now at the Big Blue River crossing. Would you like to take a look around? Yes. Okay. I guess we can just talk to people first. A lady, Marini Stewart, tells you that this Perry is mighty pretty with all the wildflowers and tall grasses, but there was too much of it. I miss not having a town nearby. I wonder how many days until I see a town with real shop, church. Okay, it's just chit-chatting. And
10 minutes until Oregon closes.
Okay, we have to go faster. Let's just continue.
Change pace.
Change pace. Okay, yeah. So we should be faster. Which one is... Okay. Strenuous pace, a grueling pace. Find out what... Okay, let's find out what does it mean. 8 hours a day, 12 hours and 16 hours. Then we should go with the 16 hours, I guess, if we have so little time. And it seems like health is good, everything is good, so we should just continue. 3.8 feet depths. 3.8 feet is not that much, right? Should we just attempt to just ford? Yeah? Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, Tom, no.
We'll lose 3 whales, 1 ox. Oh wait, Tom drowned. Okay. Yeah,
Disaster.
I guess we have more food now for each one of us.
Your food will go down slower now.
Yeah. It's thank you for your sacrifice. Okay. Yeah. Wait, can I say no to this? What if I say no?
You don't get the cool art.
Oh, let's see the art for now. Okay, cool. Do we need supply? Ration is filling. Do we need anything? I feel like we don't. Just continue. Yeah, we have so much food. We have 700 pounds. Wait, what? Have dysentery. What is that?
Dysentery is stomach illness.
Okay, sorry. Dysentery. Health is fair now. Okay, so we... Joshua. Okay. It's still fair, though. Okay. I'm gonna try no. I feel like we're okay at pace. We don't need anything. Or do we want to fix your leg? Or your stomach? I don't know if we can do that, but you can... that's just, oh, okay. I feel like there's nothing. We're still good to go. Size of... Okay. Next landmark. We pass a gravesite. Let's take a look. Here lies Volan. Hey, come out and play. Okay. What is it? Okay. Weather is hot now. Okay. Let's take a look. That is Native American. Should we rest? Oh, the weather is cool again. What? It went from hot to cool just by that one transition scene. If it's cool, then I'm gonna go again.
Sounds good.
Okay. Oh, health is poor. Poor. What happened?
I think you're working too hard.
Okay. I guess I can... Oh, it's fine. We were almost at the next phase anyway. We can rest here.
You have an option to eat more food if you want.
Oh yeah, we can change the ration, right?
Yeah.
Change ration ratio. Change food ration.
Oh, no, you're already as large as possible.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we just keep it that way. Maybe we just have to rest. Maybe just stop and rest. So our health is better. That fine? How many days?
10 days.
10 days? 10? Sure. Oh, I can't do 10. I guess 9. It doesn't really, or maybe it hasn't updated yet, but it's fair now. If it's fair, then we should just keep going. Bad water, inadequate grass. It's still hot. Oh, and our food is
I think we're getting to the desert.
okay. We should look around then. If we're getting to the deserts, yeah. Sorry.
You can try trading.
Yeah. I was gonna say if we need more food in that case, maybe we should buy some food. Oh yeah. Oh, we also don't have wagon wheels.
Didn't we have wagon wheels?
We lost it when we were crossing the river. We lost all of them.
Sad.
Yeah. Okay, so we can't trade there. Oh wow, that's kind of sad. I guess we have to just keep going. Or actually, do we need to change our food ration?
Probably a good idea.
Because we're going to the desert? Maybe just meager?
Yeah.
Okay. And continue. Oh, let's see the map again. The trails divide here. Head to the Green River crossing and Fort Bridger.
5 minutes.
Where's Green River? Fort Bridger is here?
It's kind of out of the way.
Where is Green River crossing? I can't see.
To the west, that's the river.
This?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess we just head towards that then. Green River crossing. How much food? 300-ish. Yes. Maybe we can just attempt to trade again, see what we have. Wants 102 bullets. He will trade you for 1 wagon wheels. Will we take that trade? Do we need a wheel? We probably do, right?
Yeah, you don't have any more.
Yeah. Maybe we should take the wheel.
You break another wheel, you're in big trouble.
Yeah. Let's take a wheel. What about let's continue. I think we have to see how much the river is. Wow, the river is so deep. Let's see how much they want to charge us for. 5 and wait 2 days. I think that sounds fair.
Yeah. There probably isn't as many people out there.
Yeah. Yes. Let's take the boat. That boat doesn't look stable. Okay. We got there safely somehow. Okay. I'm concerned with our food. Do we have enough food? Sure. Soda Spring. So just check the trade option. Wants 1 wagon wheels for food. That's not that many food.
Yeah.
That's so.
That's just a couple days worth.
Yeah, can we bargain? I guess not. But yeah, I guess we just continue. Oh, yeah, we just continue. The house is still fair. Yeah. I still don't know. Let's see. see trade options. They want food. I'm not giving them food. We have to. Okay, we can buy supplies. Yeah. Okay.
Things are getting more expensive though.
Oh yeah, the food is doubled price now. But we definitely, I think food is necessary. Maybe buy like another 100 or how many? I don't know. We
Maybe
bought
like 200 maybe.
200. Okay, so just beef. Let me look at the map. How far are we? It's not that far.
Yep. Okay, 5 minutes. Oregon closes in 5 minutes.
Let's continue. Have to speed up. Very little water. Okay, health condition is poor now. So maybe something got injured. I wasn't. Yes. Snake River crossing. We kind of have to rest as well. This is too poor. Like 5 days.
July. When does it start getting really cold? September?
Yeah, we have some time.
What, 2 months?
Yeah, okay, it's fair now. Let's continue. Let's see. 6 feet, 1,000 feet across. 1,000 feet across. Hire an Indian to help. What is that option? Oh, wait, can we get more info? Ford, use a ferry. Okay. Hire an Indian to help. I'm gonna try that. Guide says that you take your wagons across the border in exchange for 2 sets of clothes. I feel like clothes was not that important in this.
I think you owe a lot.
Yeah. We should just Yes. It still is the cloth technique. Okay. Continue. Josh have a fever. That's a broken leg and a fever. Or is the broken leg healed? Oh, the price. One of the oxes died. And the health is poor now.
How many spare oxen do we have? 2. Now 1.
Yeah.
I wonder if the oxen can be eaten. Maybe not.
We need to rest again. Because it's very poor now, so we have to rest. We have to rest for maybe like 9 days again. It's very poor. Do we have enough time? It's fair now. It's rainy though. Now maybe we can buy some. It's attempt to trade first. Wants 1 ton for a X. I still don't know what the ton does, but maybe that's a good idea. And just gonna continue. Wait, do we have enough food? Sorry. Yeah, I think maybe just buy like another 100 or 2 or 100. We also need the ox, right? Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong one. 9 and then 7. 100. Do you have not have time anymore?
Wagon tongue is like the beam that you pull that connects the oxen harness to the main.
Oh, it's the okay.
Yep, out front.
We're gonna buy maybe like 1 more ox since one of our ox died.
How much food do we have?
I just bought food. I think we have like 200. We don't have that much. Yeah, it's a short way to the end. Let's continue. Okay. Your stomach is suffering. It's warm. Okay, the health is poor again. Oh no. Okay, I probably should have rested. Maybe I should rest now.
Well, there's not much point now.
Yeah. Okay, is injured. Okay, but it's Blue Mountain. Okay, but our health is still poor. Maybe we just
Stop to rest.
stop to rest again for like 5 days. Or 3, 5. I don't know. September gets cold. Oh, we are not far.
It's still warm.
Maybe we can change the food ration so that we can be better off. Let's see how we're. Okay, yeah, we have a few. I think we are not that far. Okay, head to see the map. Dallas or Fort Walla Walla. It's Dallas for sure, right? Yeah. Head to Dallas. Adequate grass. Very little water. Heavy fog. Find wild berry fruits. Okay. Lose 5 days?
All that food is gone. 50 pounds are gone.
What?
100 pounds left.
Okay. Dallas. There's nothing. Any trade? Okay, no, that's not helpful. I guess we just have to continue. Do we have that much time to take the road? Anybody? I'm thinking floating down. Or actually, is that good? Does the Columbian River get us to?
Yeah, they both go to Oregon. Yeah.
Okay. Any idea?
What's the play, y'all?
1 or 2. I'm thinking floating down. It's probably an easier way. Because we're going along the current. Okay? Nobody.
Use the arrow keys to guide your raft through the rushing waters of the Columbia River.
What the heck?
Minigame time. After passing the third direction sign, land your raft at the trail to the Willamette Valley. Third direction sign.
Third direction sign. Okay. Okay. I don't remember where did we have to land it?
Third direction sign.
Okay, this is a first. Oh, that I can't tell. That I was fine there. Okay. Okay, that's the second. Okay, so land here, or I passed. Do I?
Oh!
Okay.
Hit the shore. You lost 87 pounds of food.
Oh, I lost so much stuff. Okay, I have no idea.
Wait until you see a path, I think.
Oh, damn it. Oh!
Oh! No! Oh! No! Who's left?
Oh wait, it worked? Okay, I don't know who's left.
You made it to Oregon. Let's see how many points. Wait. Raise your hand if you haven't died yet. That you were on the train.
I think
died.
I'm alive. Anybody else?
I died.
Tom died.
Yep. Tom's at home. You're the only one left.
I'm the only one left.
The only one, our leader.
Yeah.
Our great leader. He's the only one who made
I
it.
crashed the boat 3 times.
Well done. Good job. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually the river is the harder choice to make, I think. Because the river, you can very easily die on the river. With the toll road, you just have to pay some money. Well done. Well done. So I know that it doesn't look like much these days. So I kind of like the old-timey art and the audio that pops in every once in a while. But back in the day, this was crazy, okay? The idea that, hey, we're going to go to school and we're not going to be reading a dry textbook. We're actually going to be playing through the game. And I survived, but some of my friends didn't survive, and they made different decisions, and I made some suboptimal decisions, right? What Don Rowich said was that when he had his students come in, and other students from other courses came in to play the game, they only had so many terminal stations. So if you wanted to play the game, you had to play it as a group. And what he found was that debates would break out, right? Whenever a decision had to be made, people would talk with each other. They would weigh things. They would try and figure out, okay, what's the best option? And that really helped them learn the material and remember the material and engage with all of it 1,000 times better than if they were just watching a film or if they were reading a textbook. In fact, many of the debates that the students had were some of the debates that actually happened by people on the Oregon Trail trying to stay alive and make it to the west part of the country, okay? And so he was sold from that moment onward that if we could add interactivity, if we can add engagement to different topics, then we can get people really interested in those topics and help them learn a lot of things. One of the reasons that everyone knows about the Oregon Trail, okay? They don't know about plenty of things from the country's history, but they do know about the Oregon Trail is from this game. And many people play it when they're going through elementary school or middle school, especially in that era. I'm not sure if people still play it that often now. How many of you have already played like a version of the Oregon Trail? Wow, okay, very good, very good. Yeah, so it's still really popular. Okay, so that is what we're looking to do when it comes to XR and education. So we've only got 8 minutes left. I don't really want to start our XR and business talk, but we will talk about XR and the unique kind of business situation it finds itself in. We'll talk about the XR and game dev industries and how they work. We will talk about ecosystems next week and how one of the most impactful, valuable, useful, but also sometimes oppressive ecosystems that has ever existed is right here in your pocket, okay? Once you choose what kind of mobile device to buy, you're locked in. And whichever provider you've decided to go with, whether it's Apple or Huawei or Google or OnePlus or whatever, their ecosystem is now going to make money with you and do business with you in many different ways. Many ways that you may have forgotten about or might not expect, okay? Ecosystems, value chains, we'll be talking about all of it on, I think, next week, Wednesday, okay? This Wednesday, we'll be watching San Junipero Black Mirror, okay? And have any of you seen that episode of Black Mirror? Okay, a couple of you, awesome. I think you'll find it to be very unique, not just in this course, but a unique episode within the Black Mirror series in general, which I think just launched a new season 5 or something like that. Does anyone have any comments or questions on any of this stuff, on Project 3 or on the Oregon Trail or any of that? Don Rowich is a friend of EECS 494, and so he used to give lectures to the course live. What's really amazing is that these really incredible fields, game dev, VR, AR, that we immerse ourselves in, that we spend so much time with, that were so impactful to many of our childhoods, the people, the legends who made these industries what they are are still alive. And in fact, many of them are still in their careers. That is just how young all of this is, okay? Video games have not really been a thing before the 80s, and for most people, the 90s, okay? It's simply not that old, right? Video games are entering their midlife crisis at around 40 years old, and that's what it feels like right now if you've been keeping track on AAA or the industry in general. But take advantage of that opportunity if you can, okay? One day, the super cool people who got this industry and these mediums and art forms running, they'll be gone, and they're going to take a lot of knowledge with them, okay? A lot of wisdom, and it's going to be very sad. In any case, it was good to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us on the way to Oregon. Thank you for leading us. And we will see you on Wednesday for that film, all right? Look forward to your team formation tonight if you have not gotten it yet. And as soon as you can, get started, okay? Make some decisions about Unity or Unreal, AR, or VR. And I wish you good luck, okay? All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.